Let me ask you a question. Think about the last time you gave a big presentation. You poured your heart into it, right? But how much of it do you think your clients actually remember? Well, what if I told you that number is probably shockingly low? So there was this fascinating study done at Stanford. Students gave these 1-minute pitches just packed with data and stats. And a little while later, their classmates were asked what they were called. The result? Get this, only 5% could remember any of the statistics. Just 5%. That's pretty much nothing. But, and this is the crazy part, in that exact same experiment, some speakers told a story instead. And that number? It absolutely skyrocketed. A staggering 63% of the audience remembered the story. That right there is the massive difference between being completely forgotten and being unforgettable. That incredible difference is exactly what we're digging into today. Dear book lovers, welcome to another insight-packed book summary episode of Summarypedia. We are here to bring you more titles in less time. In this episode, we are going to explore the important and highly practical lessons from the book The StorySelling Method by Philipp Humm. So let's dive into his masterclass on how you can build trust, stand out from the crowd, and boost your sales. Okay, so we saw that huge gap between 5% and 63%. But why? Why on earth are stories so much more powerful than just plain old facts? The entire foundation of this book is built on answering that one simple question. And it really boils down to 3 core things. First, just like that Stanford study showed, stories make you memorable. Simple as that. Second, they actually increase how much people think your product or service is worth. And third, and this one is a huge one, they build instant trust. Now, the science behind that trust thing is just wild. A neuroeconomist named Paul Zak found that when we hear a really good story, our brains literally release oxytocin. You know, the love hormone. It's the same chemical that helps us bond and feel empathy. It physically makes your listener's brain more open to trusting you and your ideas. How cool is that? So, you're probably thinking, okay, I'm sold. But how do I actually create one of these powerful stories? Well, the great news is this book doesn't give you some crazy, complicated 9-step process. No, instead, it offers a beautifully simple and really powerful 4-step framework that pretty much anyone can use right away. It's called the CCRR framework. So easy to remember. First, you set the context, a little bit about the when, the where, and the who. Second, you introduce the challenge. What was the big problem or the struggle? Third, the response. What did you or someone do about it? And finally, the result. What was the big transformation at the end? Context, challenge, response, result. It's a natural arc, a flow that our brains are already wired to understand and follow. And that's what makes it so darn effective. Let's actually see it in action with a quick example. Okay, so check out this real-world story from the book. The context. A sales rep is on a call with an accounting manager. The challenge, the manager is totally overwhelmed. She says she's literally pulling my hair out because she spends a full week every single month manually paying 400 different contractors. Wow, you can feel the pain there, right? The response, the company helps her get all 400 of those contractors onto a new platform in just 10 days. And the result? That 1-week-long nightmare of a task, it now gets done in less than an hour. See how that works? That simple structure makes a business solution feel personal, relatable, and incredibly valuable. All right, so now you have the framework. But what kinds of stories should you even be telling? The book argues you don't need a library of hundreds of stories. Nope. You just need a well-stocked toolkit with 5 crucial types of stories, ready to pull out at just the right moment. Yeah, you can think of your stories like a toolkit or a wheel, just like this one. Each story is a different tool designed for a very specific job, from just breaking the ice all the way to handling those really tough objections. Let's run through them real quick. A connection story is your go-to for building rapport. An industry story shows you get their world and it makes you look like a trusted advisor. A success story, like the one we just heard, is proof that you can solve their problem. A differentiation story is what answers that big question, why should I choose you? And a resistance story is your secret weapon for overcoming objections by sharing how someone else with the same worry ended up winning. So having the right type of story is one thing, but making sure it actually lands with a real impact, that's another thing entirely. So how do we take a good story and make it absolutely unforgettable? This leads to what might be my favorite idea in the whole book. You do not need some epic, life-changing story about climbing Mount Everest. An expert storyteller can find a powerful story in something as simple as spilling coffee on their shirt. The magic isn't in the event itself, it's all in how you tell it. And the first step to telling it well is to simplify. Cut out all the busy jargon and the boring details. Keep it short and sweet. 1 to 2 minutes is the perfect length. Just focus on the most important moments. The author says the best sales stories are so simple an 11-year-old could understand them. Simplicity is your superpower here. Now, once your story is simple, you can start adding some flavor. Add a little surprise, something that breaks the pattern. Share the character's inner thoughts to inject real emotion. And create powerful visuals using dialogue. Don't just say your client was happy. Say you could see a big smile spread across their face. Show, don't just tell. So who is the mind behind this incredible method? And maybe just as important, who is this book really for? Well, these techniques are tailor-made for a whole range of people. Of course, sales professionals, but also entrepreneurs, consultants. Honestly, if your job involves persuading people or getting them to buy into your ideas, this book is for you. And Philipp Humm isn't just talking theory here. He has battle-tested these exact methods, training teams at some of the biggest, most successful companies on the planet. We're talking Google, Visa, Oracle, you name it. His perspective comes from seeing what actually works in the real world. All right, we have covered a ton of ground, so let's boil it all down into a quick and easy cheat sheet. What are the absolute must-know takeaways from the story-selling method? Okay, first, always remember that humans are wired for stories, not stats. Just think, 63% versus 5%. Second, structure those stories with that super simple CCRR method: context, challenge, response, result. Third, build up your bank of those 5 crucial story types so you're ready for anything. And finally, don't forget that a great story can be about spilling coffee, not climbing Mount Everest. It's about finding the human moment in the everyday. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more impactful book summaries from Summerpedia.